back at it again with another Karpov game. And this is going to be our first of two games where Karpov plays against future FIDE World Champion Topalov. And let's just roll right into it. And I found this game interesting mostly because of a single moment. Like, this is in the Dos Hermanos tournament from '94. And Topalov just kind of played a weird line. And it's one of those things, when you're playing against a guy who plays so great in solid classical chess, sometimes you want to shake it up and do something that he may have forgotten. But Karpov is just so good, he's just going to get a solid, simple position, do what he normally does, and just win. We'll see how it goes down. E6, and maybe Topalov was hoping for something like the Bloomfield Gambit, which has some interesting play. It's very, very speculative, but it's especially interesting in fast time controls. But when Karpov goes knight c3 here, this completely changes the character of the position. So after knight takes, we get this, and we got the backwards pawn for black on d7 that isn't affecting the center. And already black's position's awkward, but white has a simple and straightforward scheme of development by playing e4, getting his light square bishop out, and just kind of castling and playing wait and see. So there's e4. There's getting our light square bishop out. And then we castle. So clean, straightforward, easy chess. Knight c6. That's to keep the knight out. Tickle, tickle on the queens. Like, no, going over here to be more aggressive. Rook on the open file. And this pawn is a major significant weakness because it's not easy to push and trade off. So this bishop and the queen are just doing the job of defending, when I can do things like bishop f4 and just continue to put pressure there. So rook e8, and lo and behold, bishop f4. And see, if you can identify the weakness in the position most of the time, the plan is pretty clear what you're going to do. Like, it's not like I've studied this game super deeply or anything. It's just a matter of identifying a weakness, and most of the time a plan revolves around weaknesses in the position. So bishop f8. And now, again, we got the d6 pawn. And if I ask the question, how can I add pressure to it? Well, it would be nice if I could do something like queen to g3, but the queen can't move like a knight, and I don't see how the queen's going to get there. So if I think about improving another piece, knight d2. And why do you think I have you guys doing knight tactics all the time? I got with a bell ringer behind me here. So you can see patterns with point A to B thinking. Tickle, tickle on the queen, runs away, and d5. Topalov takes the opportunity. He goes, okay, I don't want him to get in knight c4 because then it's going to be pain. I've got to try to trade this off now, otherwise I'm busted. And it feels like Topalov should equalize here, but Karpov just keeps on going. Queen g3. All of white's pieces are pretty good. Grab, grab. Protect the bishop. After queen f6. You know, it's a symmetrical pawn structure with the exact same pieces. So when you get that type of position, whoever has the initiative, like the first move is the initiative. Whoever has that initiative is going to be slightly better. Not by much, though. So bishop e6. Tickle on the rook. So we trade, and the knight gets back to a better position. And it's just a slow, simple maneuvering game. Just, I want my pieces better than his. And that's how we define Karpov. That he just wants all of his pieces better than his opponents. Even if it's an equal position, he's just going to play and play and play and play and play like a source of boundless energy until his opponent makes a blunder, some kind of minor mistake, and he just wins the game. H3, and he's happy with waiting. Queen G5, you want to trade queens? No, I'm not going to trade queens. I'm going to keep tension in the position. Important note. Brings the bishop back. And it's as if magic happened that all Karpov's pieces get to better squares, because Topalov was playing passively. He's just like, you want to trade, you want to trade, you want to trade. And as Karpov's refusing the trades, he's moving his pieces to better squares and having better quality. And on Queen E4, this is a beautiful tactical situation. So that's that point where you pause the video if you're trying to figure it out as we go. And Karpov plays Knight F6. Now, what's great about this is, very simply, if he trades queens, I take with check, and then I take back, and you want a rook, GG. So now, if he tries to just come back, well, I take a rook, the exchange, GG. So the only choice you have is to take with the king and accept the sacrifice. But then, bishop E5, double check. After king takes, queen takes, rook E1, and he wins the rook anyway. And the game does not go much longer, and Topalov had enough here. It's an interesting note that looking at this position with the engine after queen takes E4, this is a natural and straightforward continuation, but queen takes F7 was also very, very strong with this long continuation. That would be very, very difficult to see in a practical game and situation. So why not just take the free stuff? And it's another one of those examples of human play versus computer play. And it's one of those things when you know your opponent's cheating online, when you put it into the engine after the game is being played and you see the computer recommend like a 10-move forcing variation and the person played it instantly. I'm sorry, but there's a reason in Puzzle Rush there's only like 100 plus guys in the world that are getting 45 plus in Puzzle Rush tactics. I mean, it may be getting more now, but that's like somebody's getting 45 plus, that's great. But then there's only a handful of people that get 50 plus, and they're all like 2700s in the top 40 players in the world. No coincidence. The best players at tactics, best players in chess. That's about it.